What's going on, everyone? Gilman with Wellthy Stocks back with another Moderna update video, ticker symbol MRNA. We'll take a look at how Moderna stock traded today. We'll take a look at future levels of support and resistance, and based on that, what we think it could do moving into the future. Did set an all-time high today, so looking pretty good. Let me hit record. We will get right into it. Let me go to Moderna. Oh, and real quick, if you guys are interested, I launched a Patreon recently where I'll be sharing kind of other stocks that I look at, trade ideas and options plays that I'm entering. Link will be in the description if you'd like to sign up for that. And then also I'm using Webull in this video. I know a lot of you guys have asked about that. So if you're interested in that, link in the description to sign up. It's a referral link, which will give both of us 2 free shares, just full transparency. So now let's get right into the video. Another nice green day for Moderna. We are up $9.74 on the day, which is about 5.53%. If you take a look at the indexes, right, they were up a little less than a percent rather. Dow Jones was up 235 points, which is 0.75%, and then S&P was up 0.72%. So compared to all that, Moderna being up 5.5% is great news for us. As we, assuming you hold Moderna, right? It's great news for us. So let's take a look at, some not necessarily news, right? We covered that in yesterday's video. If you're interested, check out yesterday's video. I talk about a lot of kind of news with, Singapore and Switzerland and all these other places that are approving the vaccine. Additional orders that we've gotten from the US recently of 100 million doses and all that. I just want to quickly cover this number here. So the US has administered 41.2 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines, according to the CDC, which is great news for us. Not just as, Moderna shareholders, but also as just, people who I'm assuming are getting tired of COVID and want to kind of go back to some level of a normal life. So that's great news. Now, if you take a look at, the video yesterday, we were taking a look at how we ended Friday kind of in the mid 170s. And then right out of the gate today, right, we pushed up 189, made a new all-time high. And I'll cover this in a second, right? We were talking about the cup and handle pattern and how we were anticipating a little bit of a run up maybe to 200 if we can continue that. So it'll be really interesting to see in the upcoming days how that holds up. But pretty much from that point on, we bounced off VWAP, which was really nice. And then we were pretty much flat throughout the day. So things that I like today, obviously we're up 5.5%. Can't complain about that, especially on a day where the indexes were up less than 1%. The other thing that, I really liked about today is this VWAP bounce. So we did go up. And a lot of times, you'll see stocks start to sell off in the rest of the day, but it really held that gain really nicely, bounced off VWAP, stayed above it for a lot of the day, closed above it. So that's what I really liked. So let's take a look at the daily chart, and this should be a relatively quick video. I made a lengthy one yesterday. Again, if you want to check out that one for kind of the news and updates and all that. We were looking at the cup and handle pattern, you guys. And with that, right, we got the cup right here. And then that typically, you see a little bit of consolidation, pull back, and then it runs up, and boom, that's when it goes. We didn't really get that here. We got a little bit of a higher high, a new all-time high, which previously was 185.98. Now we're in the 189s in the all-time high. So it'll be really interesting to see kind of how this plays out. We'll take a look at, future levels of support and resistance and what I think could happen. As I've mentioned before, we were covering Moderna when it was in the low 100s. I sold a third of my position at 145. I sold a third of my position in the high 170s, holding on to a third of my position to see where it could go next. The reason I sold a third of my position at 135 is because that was my trade goal, or trade plan rather, got there. And so I sold. I could have, obviously if I had held it, it would have been worth more. But, in various other cases, it could go the opposite too. So make sure to always stick to your trade plan. And that's why I sold a third, and I sold another third in the 170s, slowly locking in those gains and adding on pullbacks. So let's take a look here. So the first level of support that we have is here in the 172s. If we were to go down to the 172s, I think we have a decent level of support there. And then we've got the AEMA in the 168 level. And then we've got another line of support here at 164. Then we've got this 160 level, right? So if we start to go down for whatever reason, market sell-off, Moderna sell-off, anything bad related to the vaccines, those are the levels that I'm looking at. Again, 172. If it doesn't stop there, 168, then we've got 164, and then we've got 160. For whatever reason we keep going, we see maybe a change in pattern, then 152 is the 21 EMA. So that's the support if we start to go down. From a resistance, guys, we don't really have one, right? We only have the high of today, which is $4 away from where we are now, 189, and then that's pretty much it, right? That's all-time highs. That's the highest we've ever been. So after that, it's a matter of what people are willing to pay and what people are willing to sell at, right? Supply and demand. So that's what it is. I think it's really interesting to see where we are, right? Because we didn't see a clear breakout. We could still see that after maybe, you know, either tomorrow if we head up again, or a couple days, maybe we take another breather and then we start to push up. But I think anytime we're approaching that all-time high, it's really, really interesting. It's a really interesting level to watch for various reasons, right? One thing that can happen is, look, we're in the 185s, we go up tomorrow, boom, rejection. No, we're not going to get new all-time highs, right? That could totally happen. We could start stalling here for a little bit, right? Maybe bounce out the couple of support levels that I mentioned. Maybe we come back to the 8 EMA and the 168. Maybe we come down to this 172 level. Or we stall and the 8 EMA, which is at 168 right now, starts to come up, right? Because it's the moving average over the past 8 days. That starts to come up. Either way, we could consolidate for a little bit, and then when we start to push up, if we have the volume, if we have the momentum, that's when we break through 189, we could go straight shot at $200, which you guys know we did hit in a pre-market a couple weeks ago, maybe 1 or 2 weeks ago. So, you know, that definitely could happen. And then once we cross 200, that can become a solid support line, our base, and then we could push up from there. So it'll be really interesting to see how this plays out. Again, I am not going to tell you I know what's going to happen. I don't, right? If someone tells you they do, they're probably lying. What I can tell you is from a technical analysis, what I see. Look, if it starts to go down, I can tell you where it's going to bounce. And if it goes up, I can tell you that, hey, it's either going to bounce at 189, okay? Or if we have the volume and the momentum, it could run. And at that point, you know, my goal would be for it to hit 200. That's the best I could do. I do think that, you know, clearly it's been very, very strong. Dips have been bought very, very nicely. If I get rid of the drawings here, you'll see that once it got above the 8 EMA, it's done a really wonderful job of staying above it and closing above it. And if that pattern continues, you know, we could see it pushing up. That being said, always be aware that you should lock in some profits. If you're a believer in Moderna and you don't care about the daily fluctuations, sure, it could go higher from here, right? But if you're in a swing, you know, lock in some of your profits. Never a bad idea. If it goes higher, oh well. If it goes lower, you've locked some in. And you can maybe re-enter at a lower price. That's not a financial advice, it's just a suggestion. That's what I like doing. So hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to my channel, Patreon link down below if you want other trade ideas and options ideas. Webull link down below if you want to sign up for Webull, if you want to use this for trading. That's all I had for you guys today. I hope you guys have an amazing start to your week. I'll see you guys later this week for another video. Let's remember to be a bit better every single day, and until next time.